Okay, so last time you all decided you were going to go into Vault 1901, I believe. 901. Yeah. I'm gonna check real quick. Yeah, Vault 901. And as you went in there, you found there were some robots, some caffeinated fuckers, and one of you got infected with some coffee. Some people got shot. You destroyed Mr. S's robot, and yeah, Dr. Bones infected you with his coffee.
Yep.
What do y'all want to do?
I want to search the android.
You already did that.
I did?
That's how you found the
Yeah.
mod.
Oh.
Remember the holographic site?
Oh, right. Okay. You're right. Forgot about that.
Can't we like study the coffee to find out like how to counteract it?
We probably need to study the research files.
How are you going to study the coffee?
I don't know, I'm a kid. I don't know, a microscope maybe?
Well,
Do we
first we
have
gotta figure
microscopes
out.
here?
First we gotta figure out how to get out of this room.
I forget the exact reason why, but I believe Mr. S is I believe he said he's wishing to keep you here for experimentation. Something of that sort.
Yeah. So we will check Mr. S, his robot, and see if he's got any kind of badge or key or anything else that we can use to get into either this door or open this door.
I also want to try to hack the computer to see if I can operate the doors from there.
Well, you've already previously searched number one's body. You scrapped it for electronics. You didn't find anything else on his corpse.
Okay.
As for the computer you hacked into before, as I said, the doors aren't so much that they need a key card, is that they can be opened somehow by the people. You don't know how they're opened, but they're not connected to the terminal with your previous hacking into it. But you do know that you can just slide the door open, because they are, even though they are electrified, it's just a lot of pain, but you can do so. I probably should have re-listened to the recording of last time, but I'm pretty sure I got everything right.
Okay.
DM wise, anyways, that you all know.
Yeah. Why don't we take number one and see if we can like use his body to open this door?
Can you like throw him at it?
Yeah.
Because if you try to just hold his hand and make him move it, you're still gonna feel the electric current.
Only if it actually electrocutes him as well. it may shut off for him.
Okay.
Are we
So
gonna
who's
like
gonna do
weekend
that?
attorneys it?
Why don't we let Jams do it? He's big and strong.
Alright.
I would say because he's not as resistant to electricity as we are.
That's true.
Alright, well then,
Which one of us is hurt the least?
well,
Me.
so we don't want me to do it.
I thought we were all healed up. Except for you. You're fucked up.
They got shot.
Oh.
They shot my dog.
Don't start singing country songs now.
I mean, if you want to give it a try, go ahead. That may that may count as a melee attack, and the odds of me exploding radiation
That's true.
is
All
pretty
right.
fucking high.
I mean, do we have to
I'll-
actually physically throw him? Can't we just like flop him over?
No, yeah, I'll lift his body and grab his hand and put his hand on the door, this door, and try to slide the door open.
As soon as you put the metal hand on the door, it runs the current through the mechanical corpse and hits you for 6 damage.
So
Oh,
I
that
take that
answers
as
that.
3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe we do need to throw him.
You hear across the intercom as a voice comes over and says, "Well, well, well, my dear friends, it's as if you're trying to use primitive ways to get these doors open. That's not good at all. I've also forgotten my voice. Was he more German last time?"
Just
I
roll
think
with
he
it.
was. Yeah,
Versions, my
I think he was,
friends.
but it's fine.
It seems that you've destroyed one of my corpses. That's not very nice at all, I'm afraid. But what can you do? Oh, well, I just have to send another bot in to do the jobs that he can't. So as that happens, immediately then the door slides open, ka-chink, as number 2 walks out. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, your mutation. How does it feel to be mutated on the genetic level?
I felt a little sick. Overall, I'm okay. This mutation is not very good for me.
There things really are, but however, you didn't. It seems your body did not acclimate correctly to the coffee. Oh, well, it could take a few more years of testing.
No, sorry, we don't plan to stay here for years.
No, I don't
That
have time for that.
wasn't a request.
Neither is this.
Look. You've done all these tests in here, and they haven't gone well, right? You haven't gotten sufficient data. You haven't gotten this perfected yet.
That's where you're very, very wrong.
So you've perfected it?
We've
'Cause it doesn't
perfected.
seem you have.
We've perfected some of them.
Have you perfected this one?
The particular strains that you have, no. However,
Right.
it's less of the perfectioning and more of a limitation of genetics.
See, I think you would get better data from seeing how this operates outside of your control group. Every good experiment needs to see how it operates in the wild and not just in their control group.
Normally, science would be on your side with this one. However, we already know the issues that you have gone through. And sadly, the issues will be much worse for the population outside, but why test it when you already know what happens?
And what do you need us to stay here for if you already know what happens?
Because
Yeah, why are we here?
one of you has not been affected as harshly to radiation as all the rest of you.
I look at the dog.
And another one of you has been heavily affected by the radiation. And so, between these two blood types and the antibodies, it is imperative that we keep you here. Versus just willy-nilly grabbing scouts off the road, giving them the coffee and the parasites, and then probably killing them with a 90% outcome. But from the blood samples we've got, some of you are very healthy. Some of you are very resilient. And others are interesting in their own rights.
So if we finish your experiment, will you let us go?
I'm not at liberty to say.
You're the guy in charge. You're definitely at liberty to say.
Now, didn't you say you shared some kind of a connection with Virgil here?
I don't believe I have. But why don't you remind me?
Fellow follower of the dragon.
Oh, yes. Not everything's been transferred to my memory banks, then. Yes, your dear dragon follower. That is quite the achievement. It's been a long time since he's awoken. Seems he's taken a liking to you.
Do you really think the dragon wants you to stop him from finishing what he's doing?
Yeah, he's instructed me to visit his other sacred places.
That is of no concern of mine. I do not align myself with him. I know of him, and I know of his people, and I know how to spot the marks. But I do not care for that little fairy tale of the eldritch being that accompanies it. He is, with all due concern, irrelevant. His followers are nothing more than little tiny ants patrolling endless vast amount of sand in hope to find some food, only to starve and live and die.
I look over to Sven and say, this is getting us nowhere.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you said your body is now acclimating to your mutation? Why do you feel it's not your suitability?
So, let me ask you, Cactus, do I know what my mutation does?
You know basics of what... So, the unstable isotope that I gave you, right? On a physical level, you don't know everything that your mutation holds. The basic gist is from the basic gist, like from a body wise, that you're secreting radiation. You don't know how you're doing it, but you're secreting mild amounts of radiation that aren't hurting you at the moment. You can test by like tapping your foot or whatever, or pinching yourself, that you just kind of like all of a sudden your Geiger kind of spikes a little bit, but that's about it. So you understand that if you're hit or if you take a little bit of damage from melee, that some amount of radiation is released.
Okay. Well, because it feels like radiation is leaking out of my body.
Then
Feels like if as I touch the,
Go ahead. Sorry.
as I touch things, a Geiger counter moves. It does not seem like that is quite frankly, that's a
Do not wish to
something that
become a
would be
ghoul?
killing me. No. If I wanted to become a ghoul, I could, I guess, go and become a ghoul.
Well, I don't think you'll become a ghoul anytime soon, although it would be interesting to see you mutate if it was possible. But no, your mutation is interesting on its own. The description you give me, I know what it is, but if you're not happy, you could always repeat the process. Although I will warn you that has a very high chance of killing you.
How long do I have before I can attempt to repeat the process?
An hour or two. Let your body recover from the fever and everything. But if done correctly, you could repeat the process with a, I'd say 60 to 70% death rate, and continuing from there increases mutation chance, but may lead you with a even worse mutation. It's solely up to you, my friend. But it seems that you're getting closer to violent tendencies, at least from the blood pressure of your scientific and mutated friend over here. So why
Hey,
don't
the other guy shot first.
he did warn you.
Shot my dog.
And
No,
he should have.
No, he didn't warn us. He said he was testing our reflexes.
You should have dodged. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a bullet.
This is true.
well, we tested his reflexes as well.
A wrench is significantly slower than a bullet.
What are you talking about? It's the same speed. Would you like me to show you?
Not unless you want it returned.
I'll say this. If you need to truly leave, then why don't we work out a deal?
Okay.
If one of your compatriots decides to give me a large blood sample, and you can find some other mortal vessels to send this way, I will guarantee that we won't hunt you down and that you'll be fine. But you need to bring me back more human-ish vessels to test on.
This actually works in our favor.
Okay.
because instead of storming that bunker with those guys, we can convince them to come here.
Yeah.
Convince them that there's like a huge stash here, and they'll all come here to help us. And that will provide you with as many bodies as you need. And we'll solve our problem in the same sweep.
Now, I ask, would anyone like to undertake the mutation process themselves? Anybody up for feeling for an evolution? Well, anyone up for any takers?
I think the only one of us really equipped to try to do that. I don't know if any of us are really equipped. The radiation piece, Virgil, you'd be pretty well equipped to handle. But the survival aspect is rough. I mean, if we can have some time to prepare away from here, I mean, I would do it again.
Well, I'll let you talk amongst your friends for a little bit. Until then, I shall be awaiting your answer. Ka-chink. As the door opens and slides back as he walks away around the corner.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It's fine. Let's do what we got to do so we can leave here. Is everybody here?
Yep.
I will be right back real quick. I need to check on something.
Okay. Yeah, the survival check is rough. I don't know.
Well, at least the mutation thing is not a stipulation of us getting released. We just have to give him a large blood sample and provide him with bodies. And we can trick all those bandits into coming here.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, so somebody's got to give him a large blood sample. He doesn't want mine because he's already done whatever. So,
It's gonna be B, isn't it?
I don't know. That depends on
I-
if he wants your irradiated FEV blood. It might be me or Elena.
I think you're the one that got the least irradiated out of all of us.
Yeah, I don't have any rads right now.
Well, none of us do. They all got cleared. But I mean, he was saying, so I had a lot of radiation damage. Lena had a lot of radiation damage. I don't think you did, and I think that's what he's looking for.
Right.
So I think you're gonna have to be the one to give him the blood, and then I mean everybody needs to just figure out if they want to try for a mutation or not, and we just need to make that decision and move on.
I've got a
I was
fancy mutation. I don't need to play any gambles.
I am mutated.
Okay. So sounds like we're good. We can always come back later. Because, I mean, we're going to have to come back later anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I'll come back later and try it again, but I want to up some skills before I do that, because that shit's rough.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Just have me punch shit if you need me.
Okay, forgive the wait, sorry.
Nope, all good. So, we're going to holler out for him to come back, that we're ready.
Yeah, no.
Also,
Oh.
Giggle stepped away for a second.
Yeah, I apologize about the wait. I just had something kind of important slide in that wasn't expecting.
Yeah,
All
no
good.
worries, man.
Life happens. So, as you
So, yes,
say that
we're
you
willing.
want him back, nothing happens.
We're ready to donate the blood and get you the rest of your test subjects. The sooner you let us go, the sooner we can make that all happen.
You don't hear an answer again. You just hear on. It's not that you don't hear an answer from him so much as you hear the mic like turn on. Ka-tink. You just hear static though. You hear static, and then a thud.
That's weird.
Virgil, you
Are
want
you
to
dying?
look at that and see what's going on?
You then see as the lights flicker for a brief moment, as if like a generator. You know when you have like an AC hooked up, and then the breaker trips for a split second.
Yep.
Everything goes as this door flickers out. Powering off, the
Immediately.
lights are flickering in the hallway.
I'm gonna walk the fuck out.
And then we're gonna make a break for the exit.
As you go to make a break for the exit, which is, sorry,
I believe that's
right
here.
here, you notice that the door itself isn't moving as it is electronically controlled.
I would like to inspect the door.
Okay, roll me repair.
repair is a D100. And I need 100 or less. 36.
So it comes across that the door itself is getting undervolted or undersupplied of power. It's for some reason the generator in this place hasn't failed so much as something is wrong with the electricity flow, and the door isn't fully powered. So it's fucking it up.
Virgil, how much power do you need to get that door open?
I'm not 100% sure because I don't know the state of the generator, but it's not getting enough power. We're not going to be able to get through. I would have to see the generator.
Alright. Where do you think a generator would be?
That's a really damn good question.
Well, we went this way already. I did not find one.
There's a door at the end of this hallway that's not covered with fucking electricity. We could check down there.
As you approach this door, you have it slowly slide open, like sluggishly. Like the power is just like really low right now, almost like a brownout. As it just slowly slides open, and you see that number 2 has his skull bashed into the side of the wall.
Oh.
Alright.
You see that there is a vent in the top of this room. That in this room there's a bunch of control panels around the walls and stuff. Something about this might... It kind of looks like a elevator slash... An elevator almost how do I want to even describe this? Imagine like an elevator, right, with all the elevator buttons, but each button brings up a different panel.
Okay.
And
before you...
So
Sorry.
is it like a conveyor belt of dumbwaiters? You can bring up different ones?
kind of like you go to the side panel wall, you press like 1, and then a panel flips over on the wall. Then you press 2,
Okay.
panel 1 stops, and then flips over panel 2, reflipping over panel 1.
Okay.
Alright. Canton, before you mess with that,
I was going to explain the rest. There is a vent in the top of the room that looks like it is open, unscrewed, and has some blood on it. And specifically, his head is crushed in with a crowbar.
Someone mutated and got loose. Lovely.
yeah, probably that dude that was crazy in the first room.
I mean, nobody here has been exactly sane.
Alright. But you were able, since he's a robot type of guy, you were able to, do whatever and get a Pip-Boy module, but can't you do a different thing?
Yeah, I'll search this guy too.
Right. But remember, you get 2 options. One is for a Pip-Boy type of module, and one's for like a bio module. Try to get the bio module.
Yeah, I'll search him for the bio component.
Do you remember the check for that?
I do not. Is it medicine and repair?
Let me check.
Yeah, I don't remember it either. Sorry.
I hate being a DM sometimes where you make stuff and then forget.
I'm scrolling up to see if we can find it as well.
I believe if my memory serves me right, and there's been a lot that's happened this past week, so I'm sorry about my memory. It was a Pip-Boy required a science and repair and a bio. For the chance to get a Pip-Boy, a science and repair, and for a bio mod, it's like medicine and repair, I'm gonna say.
Makes sense to me.
And it's not guaranteed, but it's a higher chance.
Sure. Yeah,
Sure.
you're saying there's a chance.
Alright, so medicine. 86 is less than my 100. And repair, 81 is also less than my 100.
I know you just found a mod on your last one, but holy shit, you just got a nat 20 on the fucking table roll, so.
Come on, Cyberpunk mod.
Well, I'm telling you, there's no Sendevistan in this game, so. Let me type this out.
I mean, you know, it could be another bad
guys,
one.
I found a thing.
It could be another bad one for us, like the thing I got. You know what I mean? It happens.
It could be a thing that counteracts your thing.
It could be. It could be something that makes me heal off of radiation. And then when I explode in radiation, it wouldn't be a terrible thing.
We don't need you to heal from radiation. We need your radiation to heal us.
When I explode in radiation, it's going to hurt me too.
Not if it's healing radiation.
Oh,
It's just melee attacks, right, for you?
yeah.
That helps.
Cool, you can still get shot.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm a sniper, so like, it's not the end of the world. Hopefully.
I can see this being a TPK, though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, Jams will mostly not be next to me, so he doesn't have to worry.
Oh god. So now we need to save the doctor from the mutant so we can change your mutation. Went from getting out of here to saving the place.
Well, or I'm stuck with this one because we didn't do another one. Or you'll have to figure out the experiment and take it with, you know.
We could just go back down to the doctor at the bottom of the map and have him inject you again.
I mean, we could. There's a good chance I will die because I am not good at any of the things that requires to stay alive.
Yeah.
Okay, you found implant C-12. Bio-implant. Toxic veins. You resist poison damage and can eat rad scorpion stingers for a 1d20 heal.
That's pretty badass.
That's if you implement it correctly. So you open up his arm and you rip this fucking implant out of it, and it looks. Let me find an image for this thing.
That could be really cool for Jams.
Yeah.
Like, I think he'd be the best for that up there fighting the shit. You know, but I mean, we'll deal with that.
Getting in their face.
Yeah, we'll have to deal with that when we get to a safer spot to fuck with that. If he wants it, of course.
I'll take whatever. I like free shit.
Okay, so this is what you pulled out of him. You ripped his intestines out and got a biomechanical intestinal tract.
Neat.
We're gonna build our own robot from scratch here, aren't we?
Now we get.
Hey, that's a large intestine. That means you'll get a new butthole.
I'm just thinking. The check we got to make. That's because this guy is a cyborg, right?
Yeah.
Like if we, like say we went and caught the big ass robot in the bottom and we killed it, right? We could only do like the Pip Boy style thing, right? We couldn't get a bio one because it's not a synthetic type of a robot,
So a
correct?
biomod and a bio augment are the same thing as a robot augment almost. The only difference is that so you could take from a robot and get a bio implant, as weird as it sounds, because a lot of the implants for bio versus machines are almost similar. For example, you could rip a RAM module out of a robot and stick it onto your brain like a fucking tech priest from 40K. But it's just that
Okay.
the robotic one to become bio is a lot harder than just, say, taking it from a cyborg and just ripping his guts out.
Okay. Okay, so we can still, in theory, make the same checks and get essentially the same kind of stuff.
It's just that only certain mechanical implants can be biograde, and every bio implant is biograde, but only certain bio implants can be mechanical upgrades, vice versa.
Okay.
So like this,
Yeah,
for
no
example,
problem.
doesn't do anything for a robot, because a robot can't get poisoned to begin with.
Makes sense.
Theoretically, you could give it to a robot, it just wouldn't do anything for it.
No, that helps. I didn't know. I didn't know
If
what
there
limitations we had.
limitations were.
Yeah, I'm just explaining the information to you.
Yeah.
An
Yeah,
example.
perfect.
An example would be an example implant. Implant B-1. It is an intelligence implant that is both mechanical and bio. In the mechanical sense, for a robot, it would increase their AP regeneration, giving them AP regen. So every time they would take a major action, they would recover 1/4 AP. So after 4 major actions, they would get 1 action point. But for a human, that would translate into them getting a temporary jet boost. So
Oh,
Does that
for-
come with
so-
addiction as well?
No, it's synthetic.
Nice.
So it's a synthetic adrenaline boost that acts like jet, so you would get the same effects of jet, but you'd still incur the exhaustion.
Okay.
Just being like a AP penalty. So like if you got, say, because jet is every time it's your turn, you get a +2 AP that stacks onto a maximum, and then afterwards you have a penalty of it. So if you had a max of like 8 AP, and then by the end of it you had 16, after the final round you have no AP now to spend because you're in the penalty of 8 for every turn, then giving you back 2.
Right.
Unless you take another jet. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so they have differences, but that's about the gist of it.
All right. So, what else? Is this the generator right there?
Where?
The big thing in the middle of the room.
No, you're not in a generator right now.
Okay.
Okay.
No, like I said, you're in a panel room with multiple different panels that appear to be some kind of control mechanisms or whatever, or you don't really know what they all are.
All right, Virgil. Look around. Do your thing, buddy.
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can figure out the control panel.
So roll me investigation first.
Okay. That's D20. I rolled a 2. but I have 11, so that's 13.
Okay, so your 13 it took me a bit to process that. Sorry. Your 13 comes back with, so you look at the panels, right? This is obviously a very modified elevator, right? You check the vent above you, there's no cables connected, so it is halted at the ground floor. Beyond that, you press each of the buttons, all through 12, and you find that a majority of them don't have a screen. They all just have different keypads or number pads or buttons and switches. Meaning that if he was in here, you can surmise that because he is augmented with this facility, that it's more so maybe like a holographic thing that only he sees.
So what I gather is that he has a special interface with this elevator and we can't move it.
Well, you couldn't move it to begin with. It's a modified elevator as like a control room. So it's not even an elevator now, it's just a control room. But it was an elevator beforehand. What you do see, though, is you see the back of his head has a sprocket in it, connecting with a tube up into the ceiling. So that he's literally, like, jacking a connection into his head to interface with this thing.
Well, shit.
Will that plug into your Pip-Boy?
Yeah, will it?
I don't know. Why don't you roll me a repair check?
Okay. 48's less than my 100.
So, while the plug in your Pip-Boy is rather small in comparison to this thing, you look at the wiring connections, and the connections on it are similar to multi-prong coaxial cables. It's possible. The only problem is that your particular plug is a, okay, if I use USB terminology, will you understand?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, so you know what a B port and A port is?
No, I
Yes.
know what a mini
Yes.
Okay, so
a mini HDMI and a Type C are.
Okay. A port being
That'd
the USB head, like think of like a flash drive, and a B port being the thing you put a USB into.
Okay.
You have an A port. Sorry, you have a B port. It has an A port, but the prongs are similar. However, you would need an adapter. Because instead of being a 3-prong connection, it is a 6-prong connection, but the pins are in the right location to be a 3-pin connection. It's kind of like how, technically speaking, you could use a charger in Europe and America at the same voltage level. It just would either take a little longer or fuck your charger up.
Could I jury rig it to make it work?
Possibly. Do
Oh,
you
wait.
want to jerry rig your Pip-Boy, or do you want to make an adapter?
I want to make an adapter.
Okay. With the parts around you that you have access to, you would need to first make me a... I need you to first make me a insight check, a performance check after that, and then a repair check.
Okay. Insight.
Hey, Virgil, does
is
that look old? Does that look older than what we have? The technology?
does it look older?
It is a much older, redundant system.
Yes, it does look older.
Does it
I
maybe
rolled a
match does it
wanna
maybe
try
match
mine?
the connector on James's older Pip-Boy?
Jams, would you
Do you
like
have-
to take a look?
Yeah, do I have to roll an insight?
You would need to roll an insight, yes.
Let's have a look at your Pip-Boy, Jams.
Did you pass, Giggles?
20.
29. I'm trying to look for the number.
Need to roll a d20 for insight.
+0. So anyway, here we go.
Oh, we need insight?
Mm-hmm. No, I need a d20 for your.
I know. I rolled both.
He did.
back.
He rolled a d20 plus, and he accidentally had a d12. His d20 was an 18.
Okay, so you look at your Pip-Boy. So happens that yours is a 6-pin connector. It would suit this very well. You see, the Pip-Boy 2000 series was made before. Well, both Pip-Boys were made before the bombs dropped, right? However, the 2000 series was made to interface with technology at the beginning of the Great War, whereas the Pip-Boy 3000 was produced at the very end of the war, right when the bombs dropped.
Jams, would you mind if we plug this into your Pip-Boy and see what it displays?
I'll plug it in.
So you take this 6-prong connector, and you take the back of your Pip-Boy, right? It's like this tablet thing, right? You take it open, you open a flap on the back of it where a small connector is there. You then have your cable cord, which is wrapped around the back side of it. You know, like in the old Atari 2600 where it had like a cable inside of the plastic shell? You had to like pull the cable out? Is that too old for anybody here?
I kind of
Yeah.
remember that.
Okay. The old NES had a similar thing with its power connector. But, so you pull the cord out, right, and then you jack it in to the adapter slot on the back of your Pip-Boy, then pull another connector out and jack it into the old connector. Upon doing so, a light pops up on your Pip-Boy and says, Interface connection. Connection achieved. As a little Pip-Boy guy comes out and says, You have interfaced with the connection. Congratulations! You can see from this interface that this is a control panel for moving around test subjects below the deck and managing vitals. What is interesting, though, is that all of them are awake.
Okay.
All of the test subjects are awake. And the second thing is that there is a they're currently in a code brown right now. And what that translates across the screen is that they are aerosolizing, or rather they have been aerosolizing brewing. They have aerosolized the coffee. So you all
What's
have
aerosolizing?
spray made it a gas.
Oh, okay.
So mist almost. Meaning you all have been breathing in the coffee.
So we're all
Vapors.
infected.
No, you all have the bacterial infection, but mind you need the parasite to make it work. Remember?
Okay.
Remember, it's the whole thing of the parasite causes the mutation with the bacteria, but in rare cases the bacteria can cause the mutation, but it's base coffee. Meaning that
Right.
it's showing the test here as like he was checking on test results. He was checking to see if the baseline coffee genetic, like the bacterial infection, did anything to any of you. And he was checking to see if it was a coffee issue with your genetic mutation getting the isotope that it got. Mind you, this is where the full isotope explanation for your mutation would be, so if you want to share that information, go ahead. But he was checking to see if the coffee was the issue or the parasite was the issue. The issue that you had was that your genetics just weren't compatible with the parasite. Your genetics weren't compatible with the coffee you were given. Parasite did all the right things and tried to give you the strongest mutation possible. You just weren't right for the right brew.
Is there anything in there that says what the right brew might be?
That's what he was trying to see. It didn't get anywhere, though, because he was bashed to the skull before he could transfer that data.
Well, since we saw it, I go ahead and share with him the information about his isotope.
So now you all know the unstable isotope mutation information.
So we can't let Sven get hit or he'll have a meltdown.
All of you have been exposed to the coffee. None of you have been induced with mutation. However, you have a very high likelihood of receiving mutation if you get infected at all with a parasite or other coffee drinks of the area.
Right, so there's an unknown thing on the loose. All the other subjects are awake, not necessarily on the loose. And another of Mr. S's numbers is dead, and we don't know how many of them there are. Also, we're breathing coffee.
Yeah,
What do you guys want to do next? Oh,
Can we go this way?
this display, does it show the layout of the vault?
So, you try going a little bit deeper with this control panel, and you're hit with a unit access code.
I see.
Also, this room is not available to you. You don't know that
Okay.
it's there.
Okay. No problem.
So I can't find the generator because we don't have a map.
The only thing you can
I
see
guess
from
we-
this on a base level is vitals, meaning that all the subjects are awake. You can see that 2 containment vaults are open, and that, specifically, Dr. Typhon is not in his vault area.
Let's go and talk to the doctor that treated our wounds. He might be able to
Alright.
get in contact with Dr. S and let him know what's going on.
Alright, we start to head down.
You see Nurse Gray outside as she says, "Why, hello there. Are you back for another visit from the doctor?"
We have an issue. A test subject has gotten free and killed one of Dr. S's numbers and escaped into the ventilation system.
This is preposterous.
You want to
How
go see
could
where it happened?
Something like this happen, but I am not under the watch of this facility. I am only to assist Dr. Bones and whatever he may need.
Yes, we would like to inform Dr. Bones and see if there's anyone he can contact about the situation.
Dr. Bones is currently very busy, but you can still talk to him through the plasma door.
So I assume he heard what we said.
Oh yes, I heard what you just said.
Yeah, Dr. T, forget his name now, but
Typhon?
yeah, Typhon. He's out.
That's nothing.
He's on the
new.
loose.
I wouldn't say he's on the loose. Probably just hasn't come back yet.
Well, 2 subject containment vaults are open as well.
That
And there was
is
blood
not
on the
good.
vent in that room.
Oh. Well, that's not good. Do you know what number
And he
they were?
aerosolized the coffee.
That's normal.
Yeah, did we catch the number on those open vaults?
History check.
Shit. 8 plus 8 is 16.
5 and 84.
Alright, so 5 and 84 were the ones that were open.
That's weird then. Number 5 hasn't had anybody in it in a very long time, and number 84, I could see why that's an issue.
Well, all of the subjects are awake.
That's not really an issue.
Well, what's the problem with 84?
Well, let's see here. If I remember correctly, you see, the issue with number 84 specifically is that he has the speed demon mutation. But not just a speed demon, he has Radwalker too.
Those sound troublesome.
Long story short, he's a fast boy, very fast. And the faster he moves, the higher his metabolism burns. But he also has Radwalker, meaning that he feasts on radiation. And so, if he's gotten loose, that means he's probably heading for the power generator to consume the uranium in the core.
That explains why everything's losing power.
Which means he probably already ate one of the fusion cores.
Can you possibly take us down there so we can try to take care of him?
I do not have access to the maintenance level of this vault or its facility. That is offline for every human subject. That
Lovely.
would be up to the robotics division, which, assuming that he has gotten out and already eaten a fusion core, has probably already dismantled most of them.
Well, we know where he's going then, because once the fusion core is gone, the only other source of radiation in the vault was going to be Sven.
He probably can't get to the other generator, which is why he's probably in the vents. And you say...
When we wait around long enough, he'll probably come to us.
I'm sure Mr. S is on it already. Which number died?
Numbers 1 and 2.
Oh, that's no issue then.
Hey, what's
How
in
many
this?
are there?
84.
Shit. What's in
What's
the
in the
central
vault?
area?
Oh, that's our lower floor for experimentation, though we don't use it as it's been quarantined for a very long time.
Oh, so that's actually a big hole in the floor. With a lower floor beneath it.
You see that there is glass covering it, like bulletproof glass, as well as like there's like electrical fencing all around it that is like keeping, like you could jump the fence, probably get on the glass, and probably squeeze through a little crack here to get underneath. But it's pretty guarded off. But he says, yeah, it's been sealed up for a while. It's been quarantined for a very long time. I wouldn't recommend going in there unless you really want certain doom.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with not going in there.
However, Dr. Typhon should be around shortly. He just has to regrow.
I'm just gonna accept what you said.
Oh, do you have an issue with regrowing humans?
No, don't know how to respond to it.
Fair enough. Flesh is a very simple thing to control, my friend.
So, Dr. Bones,
Yes.
did you determine what coffee I need?
It's hard to say. It's not first on my priority list. I have the computer taking care of it at the moment, but it's not the first on my priority list with all the work I have to do and to make sure that, the facility stays afloat. Although my current directive from Mr. S is to keep the plasma gate up, keep my nurse on duty, continue work and function as normal, and try to find the fucker in the vents, and hopefully send a few little helpers to go take care of him.
Well, we sort of in the middle of a deal with the doctor to bring him more test subjects and donate a large blood sample.
Dr. Bones looks at you a little concerned now. He asked for more test subjects.
Yes.
He asked you. Specifically, he's putting emphasis on he asked.
Oh no. It was the deal for us to be able to leave the vault. He's telling us. I just didn't
Right.
choose my words carefully.
And he told you to bring new subjects here.
In exchange for our freedom, yes.
You see him turn away from you and click something on his, terminal computer. That's interesting.
In addition to a large blood sample.
He gives you a strange, side eye. From who?
He didn't say. But we, talked amongst ourselves and assumed it would probably be me.
He said he wanted it from the one of us that didn't have as much radiation damage.
And he kind of flips through, he kind of rolls himself over to a filing cabinet, kind of flips through it, and then pulls a file out, and then looks at you and kind of peruses, pulls out a piece of paper, sticks it back in, staples it, and just kind of looks it over. That's concerning.
Well, I was already worried about this entire thing. Now I'm more worried.
So if I'm clear here, he told you to go get more subjects for his experiments, and then asked for a very large blood sample from you.
Yes.
Did you give him the blood sample?
No.
Yep.
He walked away after making the deal, and then
James, you said
he
yes,
got
and Virgil saying no.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
He walked away and left us in the room, and then got done in by whatever's in the vents. And the door, when the power fluctuated, the door opened, and we came to check on him and came down to tell you what was happening.
That's not like number 84 at all. Power issue, I know it was him, but what was the thing? He looks a little puzzled and worried as he slides back over to his computer terminal. You then hear a bump from above you, and then another bump, and then a clank, then another clank, and then another clank.
Be on guard, Sven.
I start to move over here.
As all of that happens, you then see a large metallic creature covered in all kinds of biomechanics rip and tear its way out of the ventilation shaft on the other side of Dr. Bones. He turns around, says, "Oh God," as then the gate then fades. Nurse Grey rushes in and says, "Stand down, abomination," and unloads a machine gun fire into it. It quickly moves out of the way, dashes around, jumps back up into the ceiling, and crawls away, clanking in the ceiling. Dr. Bones now breathing heavy, and Nurse Grey just kind of scanning the room.
So are you ready to be a little more helpful so we can solve this fucking problem? Or do we just all want to sit here till we die?
I guess I can be a bit more forthcoming now, as my life has now been put in mortal danger. So, as you may know, Dr. S has his machines, right?
Yeah.
And I told you before that we have 84 subjects here, and that he has 84 servants. Why do you think that is?
So that each one can keep an eye on each subject.
He's using the brains of each subject to be his copy. He deletes their consciousness, saps all the memory from them, and uploads his consciousness into the brain, which is why there takes a re-downloading time in process. Mr. S, in some capacity, is human, and in other capacity is more robot than he is human. You would maybe consider him more of a robo-brain, just switched between multiple different gels. However, what doesn't make sense is that 84 goes after radiation, but why hasn't he tried to climb through and eat the second generator, which is on this floor? That thing wasn't number 84. That thing was from, he points, down over there, and the reason why we keep that locked up. I guess it got out, which means we're probably all fucked.
There's not enough power to get the door open.
And without Dr. Typhon here, it means that things got a whole lot worse. If that thing gets a hold of Dr. Typhon, we would all be fucked. And if Mr. S was asking for blood, that means that his test subjects, the brains aren't compatibly working together, which means that he didn't have as many subjects as he thought he did, which means he was looking for more, and the blood sample was to try to start growing tissue. He was probably scouting you over there. He points to Sven. He was probably scouting out your body as a potential suitor.
All right.
Because if you have the unstable isotope feature, this means your body's a little bit more resilient to radiation. But if he's getting the blood from your friend Virgil over there, that means that Virgil's body has a bit of a poignancy to radiation. Meaning that if your body resists it, and he creates a cybernetic body that also is able to accept it, you could maybe get isotope plus radwalker. And if he got those two together, he would be nigh unkillable. And thus wouldn't need the issue for swapping bodies. You then see the Grey Nurse start unloading again as in her minigun as the thing once again pops out of the wall, latches onto her, and just stabs a sword straight through her core, tears out the fusion core that was in her, tosses it to the side, and jumps back up into the ceiling.
So it just ripped the core out and threw it on the ground?
Yep.
So that's a whole fusion core.
Going offline.
I want to see if it damaged the fusion core.
Okay. The fusion core itself has a slight issue in the sense that it's a robotic fusion core, meaning that it needs a cooler to be set up in it, meaning it's overcharged, essentially.
Shit. Okay.
It's been overcharged, meaning you either need a cooler for it, or you could try to use it normally, but it might overheat any device you put it in. So you'd need to be extra careful.
Alright. I'll keep looking for a regular fusion core.
I mean, let's bring this one with us.
Oh, sure. We'll collect it.
Dr. Bones walks over and opens up his drawer, takes one out, and shoves one over in Nurse Grey, where she then powers on again.
Oh, good.
Could you hand me that overcharged core?
Yeah, hand it to him.
He grabs it and shoves it into like a little module on his desk. That should start repairing and resealing it. For the meantime, Nurse Grey, you'll have to run off a normal fusion core.
I don't like how this thing is popping in and out.
You don't like it?
No, of course not.
That it just casually pops out a core and then just slaps one in?
No,
he's
the
talking about
monster.
The monster popping in and out of the...
Out of the walls.
He's saying he is not enjoying how the monster is popping in and out of walls.
Bones isn't enjoying it either. Look, I'm not great with the sort of teamwork thing, even though we are all in a bunker together, but my best guess is ignore the power issue for now. Try to isolate wherever the fuck this thing is going.
Well, at least we know that this isn't number 84, so he doesn't have those mutations we were worried about.
No, but that doesn't mean that 84 is, still not out there.
Sure.
What mutations does that one have?
Well, it's already explained to you that number 84 has the mutation of Radwalker and Speed Demon, meaning the more
No, not 84. The one that just came in.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know because it doesn't have a designated number.
It's just an abomination from that floor.
An abomination from the floor they quarantined.
So we have an enemy we have no information about. Cool.
Well, he has information, but he doesn't look to be very forthcoming with it right now. More so you sense out of nervousness.
I would like to persuade him to give us the rest of the information.
2d100.
Sure. For persuasion?
Oh, sorry. No, d20. D20.
Yeah, I was confused for a second. Yeah. That is a That is a 30.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Rolled
I
a
have an 11.
19.
I have an 11 in
Oh my
persuasion.
god. Holy
I'm good at two things. I'm good
Holy
at shooting.
fuck, man.
I'm good at shooting and talking to people. That's
Jesus
it.
Christ.
Quick talker, quick shooter.
If I can't talk you out of it, I'm shooting
charisma
you.
build to a whole nother level. Holy fuck. So, man has the equivalent of expertise from a rogue over here.
Talking bullets over here.
Yeah, we're talking or I'm shooting. That's how this works.
Get talking, boy.
Fucking bard.
So, what do you say to him to persuade him?
All right, look. I've asked you nicely a couple of times now. So, you still seem to know stuff. You still don't want to tell us about it. So I tell you what, we're going to sit here and we'll just watch until that thing finishes killing you. Because it seems much more interested in getting to you than it does to us. And then after you're dead, we'll read through the files and find out what it is and we'll take care of it then. Or you can tell me what the fuck's going on and we'll help you deal with it now.
Fine, but just forgive me for not exactly loving to revisit past traumatic things. That thing is the first generation of Dr. Typhon. The reason that lower floor is quarantined is the whole reason why we have Dr. Typhon locked up. And the whole reason why there's only been 1.5 of him. Because the half of him that we took was a couple cells we scraped off the floor before we got killed, or before one of us got killed. And we sealed off the area and regrew Dr. Typhon. By saying regrew, is that his genetic mutation is regeneration. You blow him up, he will slowly regenerate. You burn him to a crisp, as one cell remains, he will mutate and generate. And come back like an awful fucking abomination. I will continue saying this, I just have to turn my light on, because it's getting dark in my room.
Why does
So
he
kill
seem to
on
want
fire.
you dead?
Okay, I'm back. So as he was saying, it has regeneration. That's why we say that Dr. Typhon is 1.5 generations old. But that also relates to Mr. S as well, as Mr. S was the first generation of Dr. Typhon. Then, in a very poor accident, remember how I said we barely made it out? We made it out with his head. The body regenerated. But when the body regenerated without a brain, it created that thing. Which it then stole pieces of armor, creating armor for itself, creating things for itself. So we would aerosolize coffee, which in a way would halt it. However, we kept having to change the brew type, because the parasite inside of it would overcome and adapt. So Mr. S is Dr. Typhon, just as that is Dr. Typhon, and Dr. Typhon is no longer in his cell.
Oh, that's confusing. They're all the same person, but they're all separate.
You can think of it, he says, do you say that out loud?
Yes.
Think of it like this. The brain is the intelligence, so it craved a body. So it created multiple numbers of bodies to try to find the right one, but would never find the right one. The body that you just saw running around here was the instinct to survive. So is an animalistic instinct. And the one that you saw in the cell was the memories, the past given form and breath, the scraps of whatever was left over genetically mutated into a person again. Unfeeling, unwanting, just to do its singular purpose, to live and die. Given barely enough scraps to live. But if it got out, that means the door's open, which means that the brain let it out, which means that he was trying to get a new body, a perfect body, from one of you two. But it appears that because you wanted to go find new bodies for him, that you weren't willing, or that he maybe sensed you weren't willing. And seeing as that his head is with a crowbar, that tells me one of two things. Either he let it out, or Dr. Typhon got out. But it also means that the coffee it's breathing in is the only thing that's keeping us safe at the moment. Because if it could come out, it wouldn't have any reason to stay in the vents or the walls.
Can you control where the coffee is at?
No, I cannot, sadly. That is outside my jurisdiction. That's about all that I know. Now that you know that crushing amount of defeat and crushing amount of burden that one man is to carry as a doctor of this facility, congratulations, you found your overseer.
What are we going to do? Because it sounds like we're not going to be able to do anything about him if we're short of throwing him into an incinerator.
The only thing I would think of is to not open up the doors to the outside, as if that thing gets outside, it'll be like a flesh plague. So, I'm gonna need one of your guys' blood.
Whose blood is most suitable?
The most irradiated. He points at Jams. Get over here. He loads up the syringe gun again.
I hate needles.
He pulls out a shotgun where he loads up like a bunch of needle attachments into it with like a a fucking like air hose connected to it. This is gonna hurt a lot. But you'll take it, right?
Fine.
He jams it underneath your side into your rib cage and shoots in about 12 needles into your side that sucks out blood. You take 20 damage. He says, thank you, and he only takes one vial of it and sticks it in the computer.
Last time he took my blood, he didn't even need it.
He He takes the vial out and says, "This one's a dud," and as he tosses it onto the ground, takes the next one, sticks it in the computer.
Just gonna walk out before he asks for more.
Dud. Takes the next one out and checks it in. Okay, bingo. Now come back in here. I'm not done with you yet.
Oh God.
Open up your mouth and say, "Ah." He takes a stick and he like jams it down your throat and scrapes the back of your throat and takes it out. Slots it in the machine, types away and clacks away. He points at you, Virgil. You, science boy, over here.
Okay.
Let me have your face.
I look at him.
He grabs your, do you have glasses on, or no?
No.
He grabs your face and smashes it on the screen in front of him. Like, just just grabs your hair and just BANG! And then pushes you back. And it says,
Ow.
face account confirmed.
Try again.
And so you take 4 damage from that.
Mm-hmm.
Says, thanks, I need your face for a minute. Okay, got everything set. You then hear a couple of pills shoot into a bottle as he takes a bottle out from the cabinet, sticks it onto the computer, and he says, "Okay, everybody, time to swallow these pills."
Lovely. I take one and swallow it.
Jams?
Fine.
Lena?
Yeah, I take it.
Sven?
Sure.
As you swallow it, you all feel as if your body is heating up for a brief moment, and then you all get sweats. As he then pops a pill, tosses the bottle to the side, and then clanks the buzzer as all the alarms go off in the whole building.
What was that?
I've just injected your blood into the fuselage of the coffee, making a new brew. You've all taken a pill to mitigate your cells of hypermutation. Poor Ringo.
Oh no.
We're gonna have a super mutant dog.
We don't have a great track record with animal companions.
Hey, maybe the dog will be strong enough that when the behemoth finds it, he can pet him, and the dog won't explode.
This will undergo a rapid mutation to whatever breathes it in, of one specific mutation. Hypermuscular growth. So we can't stop it, but we can at least attach him to a wall. Now,
Our dog's about to get swole.
so as your dog begins to breathe it in, the dog begins to expand, and it screams and yelps out in pain. He says, "Oh, I forgot to give a pill to the dog. Well, shit."
No.
Let's see if Ringo survives.
I hope he does. Did he?
No, he got on that one.
Aw.
Oh,
Ringo.
Oh, God.
he expands too rapidly and explodes.
So Ringo splatters into a meatball.
Oof.
Well, shit.
A grotesque meatball
He fought bravely.
covered in black fur as it whines a little bit and lets out a bark as its bones crunch, pulsating all over.
Oh god, he's still alive?
Mm-hmm.
Can you fix my dog?
He looks over. It's probably going to turn into a centaur.
A what?
It's this weird thing with a human torso and instead of legs it has arms.
It depends
Is it
on the
bad?
mutation it takes.
Well, that sucks.
You want to try to feed the dog coffee?
Yeah.
You're going to take the risk?
I mean,
Was there a dog that just barked right now? That God, that,
yeah.
that
was timed too perfectly.
The dogs are protesting.
Yeah, I'll try the coffee.
He says, "Are you sure about that?"
What's the? It sounds like I shouldn't.
I mean, there's a chance he could get better, right?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Or get
What's
much
the-
worse.
I mean, how much worse does
It's
it
not.
get?
I mean, will he be okay without it? If he won't be okay without it, then it's worth a risk.
All right, let's go ahead and do this.
Okay, so you just grab some coffee and give it to him.
Yeah. Or is there like a certain type of coffee I should be using?
Doesn't matter at this point.
Okay.
Well, maybe. Let's see here. Let's see how he rolls. Okay, he begins to slowly decrease from a flesh blob. As Ringo is now a green super mutant dog.
Yes.
Oh, he's one of those swole bulldog hounds.
No, he's bigger than that.
Oh.
He's big.
So is it
He's
the
got
size of like a
sweet
cow?
dog.
Now he's a big good boy.
Yes, he's about the size of a Brahmin.
Nice. Dr.
Now the
Bones,
behemoth really can pet him.
Dr. Bones, when this is over,
Never
I'd
touch
like
my
for you
dog again.
I'd like for you to tell me what I could do to better survive a mutation.
He looks over at you and says there isn't.
I thought you had a better chance of surviving with the right coffee.
That's a lie to make you feel better.
Oh.
The only true way to get a mutation is with a serum. But serums are highly dangerous. So in that regard, yes, there is a type of coffee you can drink to get the right mutation. It's just a permanent genetic alteration. By gaining it, you could get the right mutation you want, but serums are not produced by us. You would have to contact, if I remember the names correctly, you would have to go find the head of the Black Quarks somewhere to go find their mutation serums. Or rather, the vault they stole it from. They handled pure genetics and we handled civilian genetics. One breeds a race, we just make consumable products.
So what are the chances that...
We haven't been to Black
What are
Quarks yet, have we?
We're working on it.
Black Quarks is the group that the dragon rules over.
Yeah. Well, I'm referring to the. I'm thinking in my mind. I was thinking it's one of the facilities that he's over, and I was trying to remember which ones we went to. It was White.
You've been to White Onyx and Iron Sun.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are the chances your little blood mist has done damage to the creature?
I don't quite know, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. You then see Dr. Typhon slag out, kind of like a slug, slip out of the vent all crushed up and slippery as he drops onto the ground, like dissolving.
Ew.
I'd say there's a pretty good chance that he's gonna die soon.
Is that the same armored creature that was attacking earlier?
No, that's Dr. Typhon 1.5.
Oh.
But, as he then pops the overcharged core out, get the fuck out of here. He slaps the overcharged core into what appears to be like a jumper pack. Fry the door's board, get out of here. Seal the vault door when you're done.
I take it. Let's go. Let's get out of here, guys.
I'm struggling. Okay.
Ringo just lets it on.
Alright. I fry the door open.
So you get the pliers, you connect it to the doors, you fry the door open, it slams over the one side. Ka-chunk!
Alright, let's hurry up, get the hell out of here and seal this vault.
As you enter, the like little voice says over the speaker, Have you had a wonderful day at the vault? Please come back and leave us a review so you can have a brutastic time later.
Can you grab the core and pull it?
Yeah, I try to drag it with us as we go through.
You can't, it's a slide door that goes into the wall.
No, the charge pack.
You don't have to drag it. It's like picking up, like you like the handheld.
Yeah. It was,
Oh, so it doesn't have to stay plugged in.
No, it's more of like you're just using the overvolting of the overcharged fusion core to just fry the shit out of the circuits.
Okay, I bring it
It's
with
like
me.
it's like a small charge. You know those flashlights that have the handles on them from like the 90s and 80s.
Yeah.
It's one of those, right, without the flashlight on it. So there's like a handle pack, and it has a giant fucking metal needle in it. You just stab into whatever circuitry, overclock it, overcharge it, and move on.
Okay.
A brute force approach.
Oh. Right. All right. I bring it with us as we escape.
As you're escaping, you come to the vault door. Are you going to open it up?
Yes.
I imagine you're all like over here. As you're working on the vault door.
everybody be ready if that thing pops out.
As you see, it does pop out. Ka-chink! As it rips through the metal ceiling. You hear it screaming as it lets out a horrific wail as you see like parts of its flesh begin to melt between the metal joints as it like locks up its arm that sears then the joint shut, again using the cauterized flesh to seal up the ports in the cracks in the metal armor.
I stab it with the overcharged fusion core pack.
Roll me a melee weapon save.
Melee weapon save?
No, hit. It's like you're going to be hitting with a melee weapon. Roll to hit.
Oh. To hit. Okay. Fuck. I need 39 or less, and I rolled 56.
So, as you stab it, or you try to anyway, you miss, as it then begins to wind up an attack to slice through you with its sword. Does a, let's see if it hits you. Okay, it hits you. You take 24 damage as it slices through your chest.
Okay. 24. So, damage threshold, I take 20.
As it slices into you, you can see fleshy bits kind of like lunge towards you before this spraying coffee hits it, as it then instantly flops to the ground and begins to bubble and melt.
Right.
The mutation causing it to grow a little bigger.
Let's get the hell out of here before it stands back up.
Did you want to activate the vault door?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to take at least, at fastest, 3 rounds of combat.
Okay. Activate the vault door.
You hear the blaring sirens of as the vault door slowly begins its unwinding procedure to unlock the door. We are going to start initiative, as this thing is going to... It's currently down, so it's not moving, so we're going to go with... Sven, it's your turn.
I'm going to start shooting it, I guess. So it hits in the head. 20 damage. Hits in the left arm.
So as you hit it in the head with a bullet, right, you just see the bullet get sucked in, and then a gloop as the flesh just absorbs it.
Oh, okay. Well, when I
Like-
see that, then I
Well,
I
it's not
stopped
that
shooting.
it's absorbing it, it's more so like the flesh just grows over it and pulls the bullet in. Like, it's not dissolving it, it's just new tendons are growing over it.
This is the left arm for 23.
How much did the right arm meet before?
No, that was the left arm.
Okay.
I've only shot twice. Once to the head, once to the left arm. Now it's the right arm. 22. The left arm again. 20. The chest. 16. The right arm.
Okay. You've crippled the right arm.
17 damage. The head again. 18 damage. I should have 2 more shots. My choice. We'll go the head again.
Head is crippled.
21 damage. Be my last shot. Right arm, which I believe you said is crippled.
Yep, so it's a crit. How much damage?
20, so 40. And that is me.
So as you crippled the right arm, you could see all the flesh like bust off of a question. Have any of you seen? Weird question. Have any of you seen My Hero Academia?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you know the guy that grows the tendons on his arms and shit?
Yeah.
When he like just punches and breaks all the tendons off?
Yeah.
Essentially that.
He can
You've
generate muscle fiber.
essentially that you've done enough damage and vibration enough to the actual ligament that it just broke all the tendons it was tacking on to regenerate and grow new flesh. You did that with the right arm and the head. So now his head and right arm are fully exposed. It is now Virgil's turn. You're right next to it, Virgil.
I'm gonna stab him with the electric spike again.
Well, you said you went actually to go over and do the... So you're on the vault door. Sorry.
Yeah, you're
okay, so I'm
spending
back
your
here.
time trying to open the door.
Well, I mean, once I plug the thing in, the door's gonna do its thing on its own.
No. The Pip-Boy has to
No?
run through a full cycle.
Yes, I think
Then
you were stuck opening a door.
So like in Fallout
Can
4, it's
I-
almost instant, right? But like in this case, we're doing timeified. So timeified, like you have it plugged in, and it's running through like the unlocking mechanism.
Can I offer the overcharge spike to Jams and give him AP?
You could toss it to him.
Okay, I toss it to him,
Athletics
and
check.
I spend 8. Oh, okay. Athletics, that's a d20. I rolled a 20.
Okay,
Nice
nat
job.
20. You toss it to Jams.
And I spend 18 AP to give him 6. And in my turn.
Okay. So, Jams, you have 6 extra AP to use this turn.
Okay.
And a fancy electric spike. That we don't really know what it does yet, if you stab somebody with it.
We're about to find out.
We're gonna learn today.
So, what are you doing, Jams?
I'm gonna run up to him.
Okay. So, that was how much AP?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 squares.
So 2
So,
AP.
20, you have to dash 2 AP. So, now you have 4 temp AP. What next?
I'm gonna try to hit him with that thing that they had.
Okay.
The electric thing.
Melee strike.
I hit.
Okay, so you hit upon jabbing the spike into him, and you don't know where you jabbed it into him, so only the D8.
The chest.
Yep,
As
chest.
you jab it into the chest, electrical current runs through it as it blows all the tendons off of it, crippling the chest. But it doesn't do any damage.
Okay. Did that count as a swing?
That is a swing, yes. So you got
Okay.
7 swings left out of this one attack.
I'll start punching him.
Well, you still have to hit with a melee
So-
weapon.
You can either continue your swings with a melee weapon, or you can choose to punch him and then spend 2 AP.
Oh, okay, I'll continue my swings.
I mean, I guess if you wanted to punch him over trying to do swings, you can do that. But what are you going to swing on him with?
The katana, I guess.
Okay.
Hit.
Okay, so you have a 18 and melee weapon, so you're just going to keep hitting no matter what. 118. And you're not going to crit nearly. Do you want to fish for crits? I mean, you're going to crit on a 10. Do you want
Yeah, alright. No, I don't have to fish for it.
Okay, just roll me. Roll me.
The D8.
Just roll me your damage rolls and the D8.
Oh, whoops. And then what's the damage to that? So that would be the right leg.
Okay. How much damage?
It says it does +4 damage to CR every extra swing.
Yeah, that's condition rating. So if he was wearing armor, you'd be doing extra condition rating damage.
Okay. It's 2d12s, so...
Roll me that damage, boy.
18.
Plus the 5 from me. So 23.
Next D8 and damage roll.
13.
13 where?
5.
So left leg.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to pull that sheet up.
That was 18 because it was +5.
There it is.
Yep.
Is it still +5?
Yeah, every time you
Yeah.
attack.
25.
Sure.
So he has the so charisma. If you don't know, the higher your charisma is, every essentially 2 points of charisma equal 1 damage. Because 1 point is a half damage. So every 2
Okay.
points of charisma gives you 1 damage to pass to somebody else. They will do passively because you're in their presence.
So 25
Okay.
to the right leg. $15 to direct armor. $23 to the head.
To the dome.
Crit.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a crit. So that means that's 46 damage to
46.
the head.
Yeah.
How is it 46 damage? You rolled a 10.
No, he rolled a 23 for his damage.
Yeah,
He's been rolling
23 and then
damage.
his crit.
He's been rolling damage and then the location.
Okay.
He's been doing it backwards.
Oh, my bad.
It was confusing me.
Yeah, it was, he did it backwards.
He's still learning, so he gets a pass.
Alright, so that's 15 to the right leg. And then
Yeah,
here I'll
oh.
roll
Yeah, so for the next one, roll the d8 first. There you
right
go.
arm.
Right arm is a
17.
crit, and you lob off the right arm. Upon doing so, all the tendons explode off the body as the skeleton is revealed. As you see, like, one eye that's like looking around as it then looks at you. You can see there's like there's no brain. It's just like an eye attached to like a basic nervous system and like spine as the flesh already starts to regrow and regenerate. What do you want to do? Its weak point is exposed to you.
I'm gonna punch it.
You're gonna punch it, okay? Interesting
Oh, wait.
choice.
No, I'm gonna jab it with the electrical
I
thing.
was
we
gonna
have.
say the flesh that wants to latch onto you. You're gonna
Yeah,
punch it?
yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. Give it a new host.
No, I'm gonna stab it with that thing.
Crawl up your ass, up your spine. Roll hit.
16. Sweet.
Well, the stabby thing doesn't have damage, but as you stab the metal spike into its spinal cord, you zap it. Upon doing so, you overload its spinal column and nervous system as you fry all the nerves, where the eye explodes into a bloodshot, and then it falls onto the ground, where then the flesh then melts and bubbles and slips between the tiles of the floor. All that remains is a tiny vial of something connected to a metal augment piece onto the spinal column.
If we're done with the initiative, I'll pick that up while Virgil's dealing with the door. And we'll wait for the door to open.
As the
and
door
we'll figure out
opens,
what that is.
the door opens up. Upon doing so, you are able to leave.
Oh, what's the roll that we can make to get our rounds real quick?
To get your what?
The bullets, I forgot. It's
I don't recommend recovering those.
okay.
They got the stuff on them.
That's fine.
Do you want to
Okay.
risk
That's
infection?
good.
Well, I thought I was picking up the shell casing. It's cool. Doesn't matter. No problem.
You are
We
back
will keep moving.
outside the vault once again as the door seals closed. You have averted a crisis.
Yay!
Fuck yeah.
You hold in your hand, Sven, a vial with some kind of injector device that was placed on his spine.
Virgil?
Yeah.
Jams knocked this out of that dude.
I look at it.
You're gonna need to roll me a 2d100 medicine.
I rolled a 90.
No, 2d100, meaning that
So I
Click
need
the
to roll
button
another
twice.
one?
Yeah, click the button twice. Or just do it once it gets added.
no,
90
like,
and 35.
not what I meant. When I said 2d100, it's out of 200, not 100. So you need to click the button twice, so it counts it as a 200 roll.
Oh shit. There it goes.
There you go. Did you pass?
No. I have a 100 in my skill points.
So, you do not know what it is medically. Basing upon what it was, though, you can guess it's some kind of injectable.
Yeah. I can't tell what it is. I don't recommend you use it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll carry it with us and maybe be able to study it more later and figure it out.
Or barter it off to some patsy for some useful supplies.
Well, not knowing what it does, I don't want to do that. I don't want to give that to somebody and they inject it and they turn into one of those fucking things. We have that on the loose up here.
No, that's true.
So we'll hold on to it and we'll figure out what it does. And then maybe we do sell it. But, you know, also we won't know what to sell it for if we don't know what it is. So there's... Yeah.
So, after exiting Vault 901, where would you like to go? After getting out of the horror show that was coffee mutations.
Well, I assume we're no longer bound by our deal to Dr. S.
Unless you want to
So
go
what are we
back
going to
and
do
visit
about
him.
that?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
dude's dead. I mean, that iteration of him is dead.
What are we going to do about the hideout?
I mean, we could still send them here.
Sure, okay. Let you do the talking on that.
Yeah. Trying to find the map again.
You are currently north of the hideout.
Yeah, so we'll head south to the hideout.
I would first like to perform first aid on myself.
You did take like a pretty big wound,
Yeah.
all things considered.
Oh, good, it succeeded. I have a 55 on my chance, and I rolled a 49. Okay. I'm good to go for now. Anybody else need a first aid checkup?
Sure.
Alright, rolling for a spin.
I think everybody but Lana.
That succeeded.
Yeah. Yep.
You heal for 25.
Okay. Pops me up.
Jams. That succeeded. You heal for 25.
Oh, the dog.
Does he need healing? He's kind of buff.
No. He good. He just goes, boo.
Okay.
What about Lena?
I'm good.
Besides the mental trauma, probably okay.
Cool. Everybody's healed up. Off we go.
All right. Yeah.
Just checking my notes. Okay, so you wish to travel towards the cave hideout?
Yeah, Mander's
Yes.
Cave.
A day's travel time. Okay.
We have a day's travel time, so we can do look for stuff.
Well, you had a combat encounter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do we get XP for that vault?
For the one guy?
Oh, we haven't like finished the vault.
No, you're out of the vault. You didn't get XP for killing the guy in the vault. Instead, you got an item as a reward.
Gotcha.
As for, you didn't get any quest completion done specifically for it.
Yeah, no problem.
You encounter some fire geckos. These are all just kind of walking around right now. As you approach, Ringo immediately jumps on one and starts tearing it to shit. Boom!
Cool.
Combat encounter started.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let me get these highlighted. Okay, get him an initiative order. You okay?
Yep.
So I just learned today, you know the Reese's Puff cereal?
Yeah.
It shreds my mouth just like Captain Crunch for some reason.
It's fucking
Oh.
delicious, though.
Huh?
I said it's fucking delicious, though.
Does it shred your mouth too?
Yes.
I think it's the powder on it that like irritates my mouth.
Put it in a food processor and bake it into some brownies.
Ooh.
Where'd you get that idea?
Just now. I made it up.
Ooh, we could do a mug cake.
What's a mug cake?
a cake that you make in a coffee mug. It takes like,
I
I
thought
don't
you
know,
said
like
a
a
mud
third of...
cake.
That's a thing too, like...
Yes, I know it is. That's why it didn't surprise me, but that's what I thought you said. Like the Mississippi mud pie.
What's a mud cake?
Yeah.
It's
It's
like a
got
cake
like...
with a lot of chocolate in it.
Yeah.
Sounds like walking
me.
diabetes right there.
I mean, we do know how to fat kid it up in the South.
Oh, I know.
There's a reason why they call it the Bible Belt. You need a belt. And no other way to hold your pants up.
Every time I went to a family function, there'd be the ones from the South that would come up, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'd eat like half a loaf of bread, 6 tomatoes, and like an onion, or then like some other stuff, right? And be like, okay, when's the real meal coming out?
Yep.
Anywho,
Sounds right.
number 1's turn. 6. 2. 5. 3. And 4. It's gonna breathe fire on you, Sven.
Okay.
You take 7 damage as it roasts you.
Okay.
Don't forget your damage threshold.
Yeah, does fire breath count as melee? I would assume not, but I just want to make sure.
No.
Okay.
Your turn, Sven.
I'll let Virgil go first since we tie. Like, since we have the same initiative. The way it's not always me going first. If that's okay with you.
Sure, Virgil, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot number 4 in the face. As long as I can make that roll. So. Oh, hold on.
You might have crit.
Do I? I do! I got a crit!
Hey, it's your first crit.
Yay! Okay, so... to the chest. With my revolver, that's 2d8. 15, so that's 30.
If I had the soundboard for it, I would play "Shot Through the Heart" as you just killed it.
Oh, it's dead?
Yeah, you just literally shot it through the chest as it just falls over dead.
Wonderful. So next is number 6. He's the next closest. Make sure. Oh yeah, he's exactly within my range. .25 hit. In the chest. For 16.
He is not dead, but he is feeling it.
68. To the chest. For 16.
He's almost dead.
And I hit him in the chest twice. 2. Left arm.
Now it's dead.
For
As
12.
it falls over with 2 gunshot wounds.
Let's see. Gonna move here. That's 1 AP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that 2?
1.
1 AP, okay. And I'm gonna aim for number 5. To the left leg for 15.
Okay.
Up. My choice. Left leg again.
Which one are you hitting, by the way?
Number 5.
Okay.
That's for 11.
Dead.
Okay. Okay, next I'm aiming for number 3. I rolled a 2.
That would hit.
7, so direct armor. 16 damage.
Nice.
2
nice.
AP to reload. What's that?
I said nice, nice.
2 AP to reload. Okay, so 2 AP per shot. 12 plus 2 is 14, plus 1 to move, 15, so I have 5 left. I can do 2 shots. That'll hit. No, that's... There we go. To the dome. 10 damage to the head. Yep. To the chest. That 1 plus 2, that's 3, plus 5 is 8. So 8 damage to the chest.
Why'd you roll the d8s like that, like one at a time?
I did it by accident.
Oh, okay. It's dead now, too.
Well, that's the end of my turn. I only have 1 AP left.
Virgil, Sven, you're up.
Okay.
I took care of the immediate danger. You're not gonna explode.
Alright. I'll shoot number 7.
It just reminds me of Konosuba. Explosion!
Was that a crit?
No. No, I have 1 point in luck. I have to roll a 10 to crit. That is the right arm.
Which one you hitting? Number 1?
No, number 7.
Oh, okay.
He takes 20 damage.
Okay.
Right leg. He takes 26 damage.
Dead.
Number 1. To the head. 19 damage. Direct armor. 21 damage. Still number 1 for the third hit. 24 damage.
Dead.
Yep, still well within range. That hits. That is the, left arm, 21 damage.
Okay.
That hits. $24 damage. I
Dead.
didn't say where, to the head, yeah.
So they're all dead now. Congratulations.
Yay.
I will search them for useful stuff.
Okay. Roll me a investigation.
Hmm. 4 plus 11 is 15.
Okay. You find 16 gecko hide, fire gecko hide, and 5 gecko steaks.
I think you need to search to see if we can find a recover stuff for bullet.
Sure.
What's that roll again?
Investigation, I think.
Investigation, okay. 13 plus 11
So 24.
plus 24.
You recover your bullets. Or you recover the casings, rather.
How many shots did you fire, Spin?
7.
You would recover half the casings, so 3.
And I shot 8. So 4.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
11. 10. Recorded.
Okay, so that's what? Calculate it all up. 560 experience in total from 7 sources.
Seven, not 8.
7 sources.
Okay.
The dog ate one.
You said 750? I'm sorry.
No, I said 560 for the total experience from 7 sources.
Okay, that's where the 7 came from.
And so the 7 sources matters for your swift learner. Right, you got swift learner 2, right?
No, just 1.
Just 1. So you get the plus 70.
I leveled up.
Ooh, very nice.
What do I get with that again?
Well, what level are you? So, what level when you leveled up?
I'm level 4 now.
Okay, and what are you asking?
Oh, just what I do.
Okay, so what's your int?
3.
Okay, so you have 6 points that you can put into any one of your skills. Remember? Tag is 3 to 1. So if you're going to put 1 point into it, you would adjust the count by 3, but every other skill would be 1 point. Also, you said you're level 4 now?
Yep.
Then you get to pick out your... Nope, you're still at 1 perk. Yeah, because supermutants gain perks every 3 levels instead of humans. Every 2. Did you pick out a perk at level 3?
I did. I don't think it's saved. I can look at them later.
Well, either way, pick out your skill points.
You said I got 6, right?
Yes, because you have 3 int. 3 int times 2 is 6.
Alright, I just updated it.
leveling Jackie up real quick too.
Okay.
It'll be, so it's 10 per level per towards 50 years. Let's scroll down. You get 6 skill points. Remember, if you put them in a tag skill, it's 3 everything in the flat one. Oh wait, no, you have 4. So you get 8 skill points. So, here you go. All you need to do now is apply your skill point. Put it wherever you want to.
And just let me know when you're done.
Alright, I think for all of that.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So you can now use your checks to look around.
Alright, Robbie, you want to scout for items or location?
Let's do investigation and discover items. Oof. 2 plus 11 is 13.
Not your best work.
Nope.
So what'd you roll?
I rolled a 2, and I have a modifier of 11.
So 13 total.
So you're looking for items, not any locations?
Yes.
Okay. With that, you are able to find a Nuka-Cola vending machine.
Oh. Well. Can we open it up?
You could try. It is currently... It is completely locked up, doesn't have any power to it. It's out in the middle of fuck nowhere. It looked like there was
Alright.
something here, like you notice there's like a indent in the ground of where a structure could be, but, you know.
Stuff happened.
Something happened.
Um,
There's just kind of like a black little crater behind it.
yeah, I mean, why don't we see
Alright.
if Lena can pick the lock and open it?
Yeah, well, why don't we?
Give me just a second, I'm getting water. Sorry. Okay. I attempt to pick the lock.
Okay, lockpick check.
I pass.
So you manage to
I
pick the
need it.
lock on the vending machine as you open up the little door for the Nuka-Cola machine.
Yeah.
Hello, Snuggy. Just in game.
Was just popping in to say hey. Creep on
Hey.
y'all for a second. I miss you,
Hey, bud.
Jackie. I miss you too,
Miss
Joey.
Yeah, man.
All right, as you were. I'm not here. Flying a wall.
Okay. So, as you open up the Nuka-Cola machine, you see that there are some empty bottles inside and one Nuka-Cola.
Oh, no.
Go for it, kid. I'm carrying too many already.
All right.
It's somehow ice cold.
Hey, this thing's cold. That's weird. Doc, do you know anything about machines like this?
Not
If there's
offhand, but I
nothing,
could probably learn about it.
if there's nothing else useful, do you want to try to grab some
Roll me
parts
a
out of?
history check from years past.
Okay. I rolled a 3 plus 8, so 11.
You remember that the Nuka-Cola machines from you working on a few in the past during like your early years, like a high school job, right? They have they have a variant of Freon in them. So toxic and dangerous that it kills plant life before it can touch it.
I express this to my companions.
But it's extremely good at keeping them cold. Just, it's so bad that, they dump it in a hole in the middle of nature and it kills everything in a 2-mile radius.
All right. Well, do you want to try to scrap this thing for parts? Or do you want to just move on, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll try and scrap it for parts.
Okay, go ahead and roll a repair check.
$49, that passes.
Okay, so as you do so, you scrap out a few parts, you find some just general scrap metal, a few resistors and modules, right? And you find a bottle of toxic coolant. One of the canisters, an extra inside the back of it.
Lovely. I'm gonna hold on to that. Maybe we can find some blueprints for a grenade that'll freeze things or something.
You have another roll if you wish to use it.
Oh, I can search again?
Well, you could search for another location along your path, like to search for items.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll search for a location then. Which one is that?
Searching for more items would be investigation.
No, for the...
Do you want to search for
No, you
items, or are
said...
we looking for we have another role. It can be either one, items or a location. So which one do you want to do?
Oh, okay. Then
I feel like items since we know where we're going right now. But
yeah, that sounds good. Items it is. Investigation. Roll to 12. Plus 11. 23.
So, your 23 comes back with you find in the crater behind the Nuka-Cola machine is a interesting looking thing. Let me pull up an image for you real quick.
Alright, I found a thing.
You found a fusion core. Well, it looks like a fusion core anyway. Has a green cap on it.
Oh.
he doesn't even like those. You want me to try to grab it?
Yeah, I'll pick it up.
Okay. You have found a plasma core.
Oh. Well, alright then.
Is that better or worse than a fusion core?
Well, a plasma core can if you have a mod, you can use them in power armor or in fusion core devices. You can use a plasma core, but a plasma core itself is usually more potent than a fusion core. It's just you need a mod to mod your stuff to use the plasma core.
Cool.
But you now have a plasma core. Without the mod for a fusion core device, it won't work. But you now have a plasma core if you find like a plasma caster or a Tesla caster. Or
So it needs an adapter.
Or if you want to use it for an adapter for a Gatling laser, which would be a Gatling plasma at that point.
Alright. Stuffing that in the pocket. Onward.
Very potent and very stable. Not as dangerous as a fusion core. You could literally snap it in half and it wouldn't do anything.
Sounds like a good bartering tool.
It mainly has to do with the difference how the energy is delivered, where in the fusion core the energy is delivered through two little bolts at the bottom with a cap on top. So like it's just deriving the energy from that. In a plasma core, it's deriving the energy from the needle in the bottom of the core. So when it activates, it just kind of activates a Tesla coil on the inside of it, then generating the electricity through it at the bottom. Very stable, just not super useful as... Well, plasma is useful within the Fallout world, right? It's not as useful as a fusion core just because they were rare. Plasma cores are rarer and they're mostly considered only military technology. But with that said, you do make it to your destination, so I will copy your tokens and load up the next map. Not what I wanted to do. Go back, copy again. Motherfucker. I swear to God, game. I swear to God. Copy the fucking tokens. Jesus, there we go. So you make your way back to Mander's Cave, where you are on the outside once again, and I feel that enough people are tired that we should probably end things here.
Yeah, that's fine. Man.